Y'all won't believe the latest tea that's brewing between A$AP Rocky and Chris Brown. Let me tell you, this drama is getting intense. It looks like their beef is far from over because Chris Brown just threw the shadiest, most savage dig at A$AP Rocky about his legal troubles. And trust me, he went all in about Rocky potentially facing serious prison time. Now, these two have had bad blood simmering for what feels like forever, and you'd think Chris would maybe, just maybe, show a little compassion given everything Rocky's going through. But no, instead he's out here taking the cheapest shots imaginable. For those who somehow missed it, where have you been? Rocky's trial for that shocking 2021 shooting of his former friend is in full swing. And since it's all public, we're getting every juicy detail step by step. Let me tell you, it is not looking good for him at all. Multiple witnesses are coming forward to testify against him. And Chris Brown, he's absolutely living for every second of this drama. But wait, you're probably wondering why Chris is dragging up this old beef now, right? And is Rocky really facing serious time behind bars? Well, grab your popcorn because this tea is piping hot. Everyone knows the whole messy situation between Rihanna and Chris since that horrific 2009 incident before the Grammys when he assaulted Rihanna. Rocky, being the protective boyfriend and baby daddy he is, has held on to that grudge against Chris like it's his job. He even dropped this super shady diss track in 2022 called DMBB, That's My B, where he straight up called out Chris with the lyrics, "I don't beat my B, I need my B." The shade of it all. But here's where it gets really interesting. A few years back, Chris started challenging the whole narrative about that night with Rihanna. In Rihanna's own heartbreaking words, "I caught him in a lie and he wouldn't tell the truth. I couldn't take that he kept lying to me and he wouldn't drop it." She revealed the horrifying details. It escalated into him being violent towards me and it was ugly. I was battered, I was bleeding, I was swollen in my face. For the longest time, Chris just went along with everyone saying he lost it when Rihanna caught him cheating. But honey, as time went on, he started pushing back hard against that image. He's been dropping these little hints that there's way more to his side of the story than anyone knows. Take his collab with Chloe Bailey on How Does It Feel? When that dropped, poor Chloe got absolutely dragged by fans who were furious about her working with Chris given his history. And let me tell you, that made Chris snap. He went on this whole rant saying, "If y'all still hate me for a mistake I made as a 17-year-old, please kiss my whole entire A. I'm effing 33. I'm so tired of y'all running with this narrative." But hold on to your seats because this is where it gets wild. There are now reports claiming Chris lost it that night because he discovered something shocking. Not only was she allegedly cheating, but she supposedly gave him an STI. And the plot thickens even more because according to Chris, that whole just friends story between Jay-Z and Rihanna, total cover-up. He's claiming they went to extreme lengths to hide any hint of a fling because, let's be real, that would have been PR suicide. But wait, it gets even messier. Chris is out here saying Jay-Z basically forced him to play the villain, even though Chris swears Rihanna was actually the one at fault. Apparently, Jay-Z was desperate to keep his name out of it because if word got out about Rihanna cheating on Chris, people might start connecting some very uncomfortable dots leading straight to Jay-Z. And considering he was married to Beyonce, Chile, that would have been scandalous. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe Chris is just trying to save face after years of being dragged for how he treats women. But here's the gag. Jaguar Wright actually stepped up to back him up.
How long are you guys gonna hold on to Chris Brown and beating Rihanna? You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night, and that's because Jay-Z worked so fucking hard to change the narrative of that night.
And that's because Jay-Z worked incredibly hard to change the whole narrative of that night. But wait till you hear this bombshell about Chris catching Rihanna in some seriously compromising situations at Clive Davis's party.
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted into Clive Davis's house and said, "Where the f is this dirty jet?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she done ruined him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes.
Oh.
And it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that nigga a blowjob in the coat closet when Chris Brown came and he said, She always fucking sucking something.
But Jaguar wasn't done spilling the tea. She went on to accuse Jay-Z and his crew of making Chris the fall guy, spreading all kinds of made-up stories in the media to keep everyone's eyes off their own involvement.
And then they sat there and Jay-Z and them get on the radio and they talk shit about that little fucking boy. And then they put together that whole fucking sham and then have him arrested on the red carpet just to make sure America fucking hated him for fucking defending himself against that crazy fucking, I mean, she's sexy as shit and she's pure whore and pure pussy and she has all of my respect when it comes to the whore game.
Ooh.
But you ruined Chris Brown's life and you knew you ruined his life and the only reason you did it was because your pimp Jay-Z told you to, so that he could cover up the fact that he started f***ing you at 14 when he was damn near 30 years old.
This whole situation is messier than a toddler eating spaghetti. A$AP Rocky hates Chris for putting hands on his woman. Chris thinks everyone's judging him unfairly. And honestly, you can probably see where this train wreck is headed. These two have been taking shots at each other in their music forever, so of course Chris is absolutely living for Rocky's current legal drama. And can we talk about how Rihanna clearly has a type? Because both Rocky and Chris have had their fair share of legal troubles, but Rocky's situation, it's looking seriously scary. We're talking potentially 24 years in prison for shooting a friend. Well, former friend, if you haven't been keeping up with this drama, how could you not? Rihanna's baby daddy is facing some serious assault charges from a wild incident back in 2021 where he allegedly pulled a weapon on one of his former friends. This whole mess started in November 2021 between Rocky and A$AP Rocky, who used to be super tight in the A$AP mob crew. The tea about why they fell out isn't totally clear, but what we do know is things got heated fast. What started as just words quickly turned physical, and then, drama alert, Rocky allegedly pulled out a gun. Multiple shots were fired, and while Relly thankfully avoided anything major, he did get grazed by a bullet. Talk about a friendship ending with a bang, but here's where it gets even juicier. Relly's legal team is saying this wasn't just some random explosion of drama. Apparently, this tension had been building for a while. They're claiming Rocky literally set the whole thing up, getting Relly to meet him somewhere private, supposedly to talk things out. But instead of clearing the air, total chaos. According to Relly's lawyers, and I'm quoting here because this is too good, unbeknownst to Mr. Efron, A$AP Rocky was not just planning for a conversation and came armed with a semi-automatic. After arriving at the location, a conversation ensued whereby, without provocation, warning, or any justification, A$AP Rocky produced the handgun and intentionally fired multiple shots at Mr. Efron. The whole premeditation angle? That takes this drama to a whole new level. If prosecutors can prove Rocky planned this whole confrontation, Chile, his defense team is going to have their work cut out for them. What might have looked like just a heated moment could now be seen as a calculated attack, and with alleged video evidence floating around. It's not looking good for our boy Rocky. The situation hit the fan in April 2022, when all this drama finally caught up with him. Rocky got arrested at LAX after months of investigation into the shooting and the timing. Brutal! Law enforcement swooped in just as he and Rihanna were coming back from vacation in Barbados. Picture this, Rihanna, 8 months pregnant, probably on cloud 9 about becoming a mom, and then bam, as soon as they land, the police are there waiting. They arrested Rocky right there on the tarmac, leaving poor Rihanna to process this absolute mess unfolding right in front of her. Can you imagine? There she is, pregnant and vulnerable, watching this whole situation explode. The LAPD dropped their official statement about the whole thing, saying, "The Los Angeles Police Department's Robbery Homicide Division detectives have made an arrest in connection with a shooting that occurred in the Hollywood area in November of 2021. On November 6, 2021, around 10:15 p.m., an argument between two acquaintances occurred in the area of Selma Avenue and Argyle Avenue in the Hollywood area. The argument escalated and resulted in the suspect firing a handgun at the victim. The victim sustained a minor injury from the incident and later sought his medical treatment. Following the shooting, the suspect and 2 additional males fled the area on foot. They went on. Detectives worked diligently to investigate and corroborate the reporting information, which helped identify the suspects involved. The suspect has been identified as 33-year-old Rakeem Mayers, a Los Angeles resident, also known as music artist A$AP Rocky. Early this morning, LAPD officers arrested Mayers for assault with a deadly weapon, firearm, at the Los Angeles International Airport. This case will be presented to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. After After that dramatic airport arrest, Rocky didn't stay locked up for long. He posted that $550,000 bail faster than you can say legal trouble and was out within hours. But don't think that hefty bail was the end of it. Honey, this legal mess is just getting started. By August 2022, things got real when the case hit court and Rocky pleaded not guilty. But since then, it's been nothing but drama. The updates keep coming, and honestly, it's not looking great for Rocky's future freedom. Now, here's a twist that'll make your jaw drop. ASAP Relly tried to handle this outside of court, but his price tag? Child, let me tell you, word on the street is that Relly wasn't just looking for a little compensation, he was hoping for a major payday. And guess who he thought should foot the bill? None other than Rocky's billionaire girlfriend Rihanna. Apparently, Relly figured with Rihanna's massive fortune and her obvious loyalty to Rocky, she'd step in and make this whole mess disappear. But Rihanna, she wasn't having any of it. She saw right through this attempt to shake them down and said absolutely not. According to Media Takeout, Rihanna wasn't about to lose that B next to her name, even if it means her baby's father, ASAP Rocky, is going to prison for the next decade. With settlement talks dead in the water, this trial is now in full swing and the stakes couldn't be higher. Rocky's facing some serious consequences, including major prison time. Before the trial even kicked off, we had video evidence of Rocky pulling a gun on Relly during their fight, and it looked really bad.
The defendant or who his is it his girlfriend?
His wife. It's his common law wife, Your Honor. They have two children together, so
right. So I should characterize it as common law wife?
Or just wife. It's fine. However you like, but yes, they're
not.
I mean, they're common law husband and wife, they live together.
Whatever you want me to call it. You want wife? Okay.
Sure.
Your Honor, I think if they're not legally married, we prefer that she not be referred to as his wife and that she is just referred to as his significant other or mother of his children.
Are they legally married anywhere?
I don't know.
Now, here's something that had everyone's jaws on the floor. Rocky turned down what seemed like an amazing plea deal from the prosecution. According to reports, LA County prosecutors offered him this deal. If Rocky pled guilty to one of 2 felony charges, he'd serve 180 days in jail and he'd get a 7-year suspended sentence with 3 years on probation. Given that he could face up to 24 years if convicted, getting just 180 days, about 6 months, seemed like an absolute gift. He'd probably only serve around 3 months. Everyone thought he'd jump at this chance, especially with so much on the line. But Rocky? He said no and decided to risk it all with a trial. To make matters even worse, Relly's testimony painted this absolutely chilling picture, claiming Rocky didn't just shoot to hurt him, he shot to kill. That takes this whole case to another level and could seriously complicate Rocky's defense.
He pointed at me, and then that's when Elijah was like in between, and he's like, "I'll kill you right now, pussy," or like whatever, like just was. And then I'm right behind Elijah, and I'm saying, "If you brought a gun, use it then." Like, you brought a gun for a pussy. That's the words I was saying to him.
When you said he pointed at you, where on your body was it pointing?
Like towards my stomach, like towards like my headish a little. Like everything was happening so fast. You know what I mean?
And from what you're describing, was it moving?
Yeah, it was moving. He had it up.
Okay, so he didn't just hold it at your stomach. It was kind of
no. He was looking for a spot to shoot.
Okay.
Like if Elijah wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened.
And you said as he was pointing it at you, what did he say?
I'll kill you right now.
And was that in an angry tone?
Yeah, he was livid.
The stakes couldn't be higher, and honestly, it's kind of baffling why Rocky would rather gamble with his freedom than take what seemed like an incredibly generous deal, especially considering he could miss his children's entire childhood, teenage years, and a chunk of their adult lives if he gets the maximum sentence. According to sources, Chris Brown is absolutely living for all of this drama, because everyone always thought he'd be the one behind bars, not Rocky. There's a very real possibility that Rocky won't get out of this without some serious jail time, and to Chris, this is pure karma in action. But while we're all on the edge of our seats waiting to see how this trial plays out, I'm dying to know what you think about all this tea. Drop your thoughts in the comments and then check out this next video. The drama never ends. The drama never ends.